37 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Loan Depot, we have Eliot Rodriguez back with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Roswell.
How are you doing today?
We're doing good.
Good.
Fighting some allergies, but we're doing good.
Good. Well, 'tis the season.
I know.
It's
doesn't want to go away.
all weekend I've been hearing people, these allergies, yeah.
Dude, I had a heart attack. What am I saying? I had a attack. Allergic attack.
Oh, really?
And I thought I was gonna end up at the hospital for a second.
Oh,
there.
wow.
That's how bad it was.
Was it like sneezing stuff or
like coughing, sneezing? Is
wow.
like totally completely out of control. It's like, holy crap, what's happening here?
Wow.
I went to see a house that I was interested in myself.
Sure.
And got one of those mulberries trees.
And they got you.
And the stuff is all over the place. It's like, I thought I was fine.
Yeah.
Because I just took a shot the other day. But it just, after like being there for like 5 minutes or whatever, got in the car on the way out, it just came in. It's like, holy cow. That stuff is serious, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, it can be bad.
And our bodies change too. So like when you maybe when you were younger you weren't allergic, but now you can be as you get older.
I know.
Just things like that happen. So
well, for a while I was like, oh, it's awesome. It's April. I haven't had to take a shot. I was doing good. And then lately, I was outside cutting the grass and everything. Didn't wear no mask or nothing. It's like, okay, I need to take a shot. And then yesterday was just horrible. I never been that way. It's like, wow, what's happening?
Well, hopefully it gets to ease up a little bit here for you.
Hopefully, yeah, 'cause it's crazy.
Yeah.
Summer's kicking in.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the wind doesn't help, I'm sure. It blows it all over the place. But, of course, Eliot has been with Loan Depot here now since about the start of the year here.
That's correct.
So, and of course, been here with this his new company, and since you've been there, you've been really growing and just getting more folks and helping more people get their homes and sell and find their homes and afford their homes. Basically,
it's been awesome. I cannot say anything but greatness things so far for what I'm seeing and everything that I've done. So, which is what I was looking for.
Good deal.
So I'll be able to help a lot more people in town. The way I wanted to.
Sure.
So it's awesome. I'm very excited on everything that I've done so far and what I'm going to be able to do for everybody later in the future.
So as far as like, I know right now, like if you're selling a home, they're not staying on the market very long. And
dude,
even with the prices of what we're talking there, because let's face it, real estate's rising. A house 2 years ago was worth a lot more than it was right now. Almost every single piece of property out there.
I believe we're going to see more homes coming out because the reason being, like you said, the market has gone up, and demand, and what is available is kind of tough for the people that are looking for homes.
Sure.
But like the house I went to see yesterday, the night before, literally 12 hours, into in the market, it was already 2 offers on it. Wow. Okay, so it's pretty crazy.
Good deal.
And you would think, that they'll give you more time. So if you're in the market to buy a house, I say get approved.
Sure.
Get ready. You got no time to
play. The more prep work you do now, the better you're going to be set up for when you find that home to make your play and pull your trigger and get in there quick.
And the agent's going to tell you, please get pre-approved. There's a reason for it, guys. We had talked about this from before. Now it's even more of of a fact because when you're going to go and see a house you want to buy, there may be 2 or 3 or 4 people already looking at it.
Sure.
And if they make an offer, and the thing is this, you never know what they're offering.
Yeah.
So that's the part of the game right there. So you have to be more aggressive, and you have to be more sure of what you're really going to do. Because if you're not sure, that house is going to be gone just like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I have a customer right now that, I felt bad for them for a second, but at the same time, we warned them. They put a house in the market. It happens to be outside town, so they want to buy in town. So that one's taking a little longer. And you have to allow the agents to show your houses.
Sure.
Okay? If you don't allow your agent to show your house, you can't sell it.
Exactly.
Okay?
People are going to buy it sight unseen.
Exactly. So you need to, put the exposure out there a lot more. Second, when you make those offers, you have to be, sure if this is the house you want. If you don't want the house,
sure.
Let's be realistic, guys. When you guys are shopping out there, it's just like when you go to the car dealership. You know if that's the car you want. So if you inside is telling you, no, this is not the house for me,
Right.
okay, move on to the next house.
Well, I would even say, like, when it comes to the house buying and the offering, the tactics are a little different right now.
Exactly.
And that's like, whereas maybe last time you bought the house, you're like, all right, I could play hardball a little
Yeah,
bit.
exactly.
You do not
don't
have
got
that
time.
luxury now. The hardball is all in the seller's court.
know.
That's what we're talking about here, because like, and this is not just unique to Roswell, New Mexico.
Oh, that's
this
whole,
is going
that's across the whole United
yeah,
States.
my brother, matter of fact, a family thing to it. They end up having to sell a town, a condo out there, and this is back in Virginia.
Gotcha.
And just these aren't exact numbers, but just ballpark. So say they bought the place for $300,000.
Gotcha.
Okay. It's actually more than that. It's DC area. I'm just trying to get a number that people.
It's a different area.
Yeah. So they paid $300,000 for it. When my brother went to sell it a year later, he was thinking, okay, I'm gonna make my money back and make. They actually got about $50,000 over their asking price
Gotcha.
because of because there was
Because
bidders.
of the market.
There was bidders, and it went back and forth. So he was thinking before it started, if I get this amount, I think it was 400 or whatever.
Correct.
And he was like, okay, that's great. He ended up getting like 500 for when he was expecting 400 over top of what just
Exactly.
inflation. So he made a killing on this thing.
Oh no, I mean the market is so it's a little unpredictable.
Yeah.
Okay. It keeps going up and down, but it's going up more than it's going down.
Sure.
So that's the part that's a little difficult
Sure.
for the consumer right now. But at the same time, guys, Mike and I talked about this. I mean, over a decade ago. All right. I mean, I had a 9.5 interest rate, so don't be afraid.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about 3.5 to 5% or 5.5 or something, or even 6%, depending on your loan, the payments monthly
Sure.
in the long run is the part that matters the most. That is going to make more of an impact to you. But in general, monthly, it's not much of a crazy difference. Okay. Of course, it's a little higher than what you would like,
Right?
Because we've been a little spoiled lately, But at the same time, it's not really a crazy place, because if everybody goes and do their research, if you go back just 5 years ago plus, we were at 4.5. Okay, and 4.5, everybody was still happy.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So not because we are 5.5 or either 6, depending on the person's situation.
Sure.
Okay, means that we're in a really bad place yet.
Sure.
So the difference is there's not enough homes. So you have to truly be ready.
Sure.
So if you're thinking about doing an application with me or whoever you may end up working, I'm hoping you come and call me instead.
Absolutely.
Okay? But the fact still that we need to get done is to get you truly approved, get you pre-approved and ready. Because if you're gonna go and play ball, if you're not ready, you're not gonna win.
Sure.
And it's almost like Game of Thrones. If you come,
Absolutely.
if you're gonna come play, you need to play or you die.
I'm kind of curious from the perspective, when looking, because, when we think about buying a home or buying a piece of real estate, we always look at it from an investment standpoint, even when we don't look at it necessarily as an investment.
Exactly.
We're thinking, no, that's my house. I'm not, I've got to have this anyway.
Yeah, it's an investment no matter what.
I want to make money on it.
Correct.
But what I mean is, because of offers and things being higher now, is there a greater risk of overpaying for a house right now, where you might actually pay so much over that you're not going to get that value back in that house? Is that a risk right now?
Yes and no.
Okay.
The reason why I say yes, be careful what you do. You're not gonna go buy a $230,000 home and then you go on a bidding war for $250,000. It's not gonna. The reason I say no is because it's not truly gonna happen yet. We're not there yet.
Gotcha.
Okay. Are we in a situation, especially in Albuquerque? Okay. A lot of people over there. Let's be realistic. People that are coming from California sold a home that they maybe had for 3 or 5, 10 years.
They don't understand the value of the market quite yet.
Here,
they're paying California prices in Albuquerque.
Exactly, and they're okay with it. And they're killing some of the borrowers because the borrowers are not ready to negotiate better.
Right.
Okay? So that's difficult over there. And it's still happening here and there, but not as much here yet. But the thing is this, though. What happens is they come to the situation, and I deal with the situations before. I had a deal that the appraisal came a little lower than the sale price at the
Gotcha.
time. Now that's probably not going to happen now, okay, but it still could.
Okay.
But what they did is a lot of times they negotiate back and forth and they go half the
Sure.
way. You know, so like if they're $10,000 off, the buyer may end up saying, okay, if they truly want this house
Mm-hmm.
badly, they'll put an extra $5,000 for the difference.
Gotcha.
So they meet halfway or whatever the difference is.
Okay.
I've seen that happen before. You know, I always say for $1,000, $3,000, $5,000, you should never let go a home that you really want.
Gotcha.
Now, if we're talking about
You're going to get that money at some point, no
eventually,
problem. Yeah.
So now, if we're talking 10,000, 15,000, and it start going crazy higher, okay, maybe
Then you're gambling a
Maybe
little
you
bit.
need to like rethink about okay,
Sure.
maybe I need to go to another house.
Sure.
But at the same time, I would say nobody to give up on the house they truly want.
Sure.
Because
Will the lender, like, will Loan Depot come back at you at some point and say, look, I know we've approved this client for, say, $200,000.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in a bidding war where technically they're at 180, but they're bidding on a house that's only really worth 60. I mean, at some point, is Loan Depot going to say, no, we're not going to finance
well, the thing
a
is
$200,000 for a house that's only worth $60,000?
But the thing is this: no lender.
Yeah.
No lender, not just Loan Depot.
Yeah.
No lender is going to give you more,
than the value of what that is.
Because
Because in case you default, they got to turn around and salvage that loan, and that's what they're going to do.
Unfortunately, that's a bad place to be if that ever happens to anybody.
I'm just wondering if we're opening yourself up to being in those scenarios right now.
But I've been there.
Yeah.
Even before the market was, like the house that I sold before, I was selling it for $250.
Yeah.
And I ended up selling it for $237.5. So I lost $12,500.
Sure.
So the reality is, you didn't lose anything because you really didn't have it.
Gotcha.
Because if the value is not there, it's not there.
It's not real.
So it doesn't matter. The problem is, sellers in general. Okay, we always think our homes, are value as much as
It's more valuable to us than it is to somebody else.
It's the Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
So we want to sell it as much
Sure.
as we want for more as.
It's no different than collectibles,
And I know some people are like, oh, the lender this, the lender that. The lender has nothing to do with the value of a home when the appraisers, appraise the house.
Sure.
And I know some sellers feel that way sometimes. The fact still is that we do not.
Yeah.
If that was the case, they're not be rich because
But-
they're not control the situation.
But the way it's presented to the buyer is, well, our next hurdle is to make sure that the appraisal is what the value, you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
so when it's presented to the buyer, they look at it, oh, that means the bank is my linchpin on what the value of this house is, whether they're going to pay for that or not.
Exactly.
You know?
So, in the end of the day, if the appraisal says so, it is what it is.
Sure.
We can't
And-
control that.
But to be fair, in essence, that's protecting you, the buyer, a little bit because, in essence, if they're not willing to do that, they're probably saving you a financial headache because guess what? If they approved it, and what I'm telling you is that you might get upside down on this house, and
Well, that's true.
they might be saving you from getting into that scenario to begin with.
And that's
So
true.
sometimes you got to look as like, well, maybe there's a reason why they're not doing this, and I should probably listen to their advice here and look for another house.
Well, another part is I believe buyers, because the market is so crazy all over the place.
Yeah.
They need to think real hard. If you are approved to 225, don't push it to higher. Even if we can push it a little more.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a lot of room, to play with. And if the market gets worse and worse,
Well,
before you know it, you're not going to be in a place that you can even get that.
and I know, and this is probably something you talk with your clients with all the time. Just because you're approved for an X amount doesn't mean that works in your budget. Like that,
Exactly.
And what I mean by that is they're taking variables. They're taking your assets, they're taking your debt, they're doing an equation, and they're saying, okay, based on their income, based on this, they can ideally afford $200,000 house here. But if you're looking at your thing and saying, well, great, yeah, I can, but now I'm going to pay my mortgage is going to be this, we'll say $1,000 a month.
Well, yeah.
And I can pay that $1,000, but if I also bought a car, I also bought $50,000 worth of furniture, and I'm paying on that. Next thing you know, yeah, you can afford it, but the bank isn't the one managing your finances. So looking at the numbers, but if you're not budgeting right and you're not spending right, you can still run yourself. And at
in
the end of the
trouble
day,
later. Yeah.
that's where, and I know you, and this is how you're getting first-time homeowners approved and stuff,
Gotcha.
because you literally have to go through that lesson with them. It's like, yeah,
I know, but
you're making enough money to buy a house. You're spending more than you're making, and that's our problem.
But let me tell you something. The market is so volatile right now that it's so crazy all over the place.
Yeah.
The problem that we're having with that is that the borrowers seems to be not finding the homes they want to, so they have to step it up to the next level.
Sure.
And that makes it difficult
Forcing
for
them to get out of their comfort zone a little bit on what they think.
I always advise my borrowers that, if you approve to this level, you don't look anything higher.
Absolutely.
Stop even going there.
Matter of fact, I would look lower.
Exactly. That's
to
what I'm
give you
telling
wiggle room.
Yeah, because you need some room. And remember, in the end of the day, it's what you're comfortable with as well. Because I can probably get somebody approved for $300,000, but they may be only comfortable to $250,000 or even $200,000.
Absolutely.
And that's a fact.
Exactly. I mean, my wife, we did the same thing. My wife and we bought the house. We got approved for more than what we paid for that house. And I was like, just because we're approved for this doesn't mean I got to go find a house for that. That's that. Now, if my demands needed that, or I'm like, oh, I got kids, I need the extra bedrooms, I'm going to have to go to that limit. But we're not in that scenario. But what I'm trying to say is, just because they tell you a number doesn't mean that has to be your number. You can find a home less, and in this day and age, and the way things are right now, you're probably the wise person to be the one looking for something way under what you're approved for. And therefore, if you're going to get into a bidding war, you're going to get into a scenario where
then you need the room.
Then you've got it, and it's not busting your budget. So, yay, we got the house. Great. We're eating ramen for the next 5 years and sitting on lawn chairs at the grocery store.
I know. I only tell people to eat ramen for 30 to 45 days only, not for the rest of your life.
If you're shopping at Albertson for your furniture, then then that's not good, man.
No, you know what? The market is it's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, because we were talking about this before COVID, and we were in a totally different place. We were busy. The market was like all over the place.
Yeah.
Houses were coming and going. And you're gonna start seeing more houses coming up because people pay attention. Or like, I bought this house for $200,000. I can sell it for $300,000.
Yeah. See, now
they're gonna start thinking it's like, okay.
Like
all
for
right.
people downsizing and stuff, this is the golden
Perfect.
age.
Oh yeah, this is perfect.
If you're like maybe the kids have all moved out, you want to go from the 4-bedroom down to a 2-bedroom or to a condo or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're gonna, because your house is gonna be so much. You're gonna get all kinds of equity.
Yep.
You're gonna, if you play your cards right, you could set yourself up for a nice little chunk towards that retirement there doing that. So,
but I can emphasize enough. Get pre-approved.
Mm-hmm.
Get ready before you start looking at houses.
absolutely.
Because the worst case scenario is that you want to put an offer on a place, or even you put an offer on a place and you don't even qualify for that. Okay,
You're going to do irrational things to get that house. And at the end of the day, you're like, is that, and at the time you think it might be worth it, but once the rubber hits the road, you're going to be like, man, we have a beautiful house, but we have no freedoms now. We have no ability to do anything else because we put all of our eggs in this house. And now we're going to be sitting here barren till we play catch up here and can actually get back on track and buy some furniture or,
and get your agent to negotiate for you.
Absolutely.
Go up there. Now, the agents know what's happening. Listen to your agent. I'm not telling, the agent's not going to tell you what to offer, but they'll give you some pointers.
Sure.
Okay. I mean,
they definitely know what's going and where's the market.
They know what's happening.
They'll know what's legit, realistic bids and what's pipe dreams or what's.
If you're not listening to your agent and you're not even listening to your lender, you're not ready to buy a house.
No.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Because these are the two individuals that are going to help you make that happen.
Well, and this is, I've always said this, and I've learned it enough. When they talk about real estate agents and their commissions, it's worth it, because an agent that's doing their job right is earning that money, and they're going the extra steps to make sure and knowing what you're looking for and trying to work it in your money, and that's what they do. Eliot's the guy that sits there and really looks at your numbers and finances and says, ideally, this is the number we can approve. But a guy like, and this is where it's different. Not all guys like Eliot will tell you this. Guys like Eliot will also say, okay, this is the number that I can get you at approved ceiling. But looking at your budget, looking at your finances, we ideally want to look at a home right here.
And
a mortgage lender won't tell you that all the time.
I always tell them, look, 25K or so. I think you should go a little lower.
Yeah.
Okay. oh, but we cannot find a house. Trust me.
Yeah.
You'll find a house. I think when we get desperate, then we make the wrong decisions.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, you get when you get desperate, you do. It's like what's the most dangerous thing? Someone backed in the corner with nothing nothing to gain, and you know what I mean. When you put yourself in those scenarios, then you make irrational decisions.
And remember, you're buying something that is for your whole entire family. Mm-hmm. This is not something you can return back.
Yeah.
Next month I'm sorry, don't like it enough. You have to be really sure what you do. And I help all the agents do the best they can. Okay, and I even give them some ideas. Hey, try to do this so they can make get a better deal for the borrower. But at the end of the day, the borrower makes the decision. Mm-hmm. Okay. In the end of the day, I give you
because you're the one paying for it. Mm-hmm. You're the one signing on the. At the end of the day, the responsibility is on you. What if it doesn't go well? The repercussions are going to happen to you and no one else.
One of the things I tell my borrowers is like, you don't work for me. Mm-hmm. I work for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it doesn't seem like a customer.
I know it doesn't feel that way
because at the end of the day, your customers are like, approve me. Like they're looking for permission in some ways. But at the end of the day,
it's theirs.
Which is why we tell you, if you're on top of your credit and, I'm not saying run around with an 800 plus credit score all the time because that's really hard. But but if you're steady in the 70s, making your bills, don't overextend yourself, you can literally walk in these places and you don't have to worry about that because they're going to come cater to you. If you're like, wow, we got a credit score, we can offer you the lowest interest rate possible. It's no different than walking in car dealerships. You always hear 0% for 6. Yeah, if your credit score is 800, most of us don't have that. You don't. I know, get the
and
0%.
I feel bad for people because everybody's always thinking, oh, but I saw that online and it says this. It's like. You have to read that little small print.
If your credit score is like 750, 800,
and
then
you put in 25% down, I mean, how many people can put 25% down?
Not many.
If that was the case, I wouldn't be doing any first-time home buying program.
Sure.
At all.
Well, that's why there is first-time home. Yeah.
Yeah, to help those individuals.
Between veterans, first responders, teachers.
MFA from the state of New Mexico.
Yeah.
Guys, if anybody wants to buy a house, you still can buy a house. Mm-hmm. Not because the market went up.
Sure.
Okay. See, what a lot of people forget is this. If you could buy, let's make an example. If you could buy $250,000 when it was 3.5% down, okay, maybe you cannot buy $250,000. Now you could buy maybe $235,000,
Absolutely.
$225,000.
That equity.
So the world didn't change in a drastic, crazy way.
Sure.
And that's what I try to tell my borrowers. Like, don't look at the interest rate only. Look at the whole aspect. I mean, are you ready to really move to a home? Mm-hmm. Is it going to be better for your family? What is the benefit for you?
Absolutely.
Okay, so if there's no true benefit, that's different. If that was the case, no investors be buying any homes right now.
Absolutely.
They would completely walk away, and the market be like, oh, there's more houses for regular buyers only.
Sure.
Guess what? That's not the case, okay?
They're buying and flipping.
They're buying it still. Now, I think they're even going faster because they're like, hey, they keep going up, so we need to buy.
Sure. Well, and let's face it, their business gets more expensive by day because flippers are in your Home Depots and all these places buying
and
the
everything costs
construction costs. So the cost for them to flip it is probably 30% higher than it was a year ago. I'm just making up a number.
Well, no, you're about right.
Yeah.
It might even be higher than that, actually. But no, you're completely correct.
Yeah.
And there's remodeling loans out there, guys. Because a house doesn't look that pretty, doesn't mean you need to buy it and it stays that way.
Sure.
Okay. There's remodeling programs that you could buy. Go and do your research. 2 or 3K purchasing remodeling loan. Okay. Loan Depot is huge about it. Okay. And was one of those tools that you could buy a home, and maybe you need to splice some paint and maybe fix the bathroom. And guess what? You could buy a house.
Yeah.
You don't need to move into it that moment. The moment you close, you fix it.
Sure.
Okay. So those are there. Okay?
And that's where your real estate agent can help with
exactly.
that. When they talk about, they look at the house. You know what? I can get 10 more grand for this house if you put new coat of paint in that room.
And if a home is not FHA approved, that doesn't mean you cannot buy it FHA. We could still do 2 or 3K.
Yeah.
Okay. So you could fix the home and still buy that house.
Absolutely. All right?
A lot of people always like, oh, but the home is not going to pass inspection and this and that. Okay,
sure.
So let's take it to the next level. Let's do the 2 or 3K.
Sure.
Okay.
And your real estate agent also can tell you what upgrades are worth the expense and worth, or maybe we negotiated. And for example, and I know it's different times, but this also works. I just saw the time. But we sold our home. We had to replace the carpet. We knew it. We knew it was old carpet. But our real estate agent said, you know what? Don't replace the carpet. Just say
Do it later.
offer credit, because the next buyers may want ceramic tile, hardwood floor, and they may
Exactly.
look at it and rip up your carpet anyway. So in essence, something I was assuming I was going to do before I sold this house, they said hold off on it, and that's exactly what happened. Is we sold the house, we gave them a credit on the carpet.
See, I need to bring Mike into my team.
Yeah.
That's exactly true.
Yeah.
So instead of, you don't even have to do the 2 or 3K.
Yeah.
Maybe the place all it needs is new flooring.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you make your offer, okay, hey, ask to replace that. Okay. So either ask the seller to replace it in advance, or get a credit for it.
Sure.
Okay. Trust me, your agent's gonna sit down and negotiate these things.
Yeah.
Not because the house has an ugly carpet, because maybe it's old.
Sure.
Or it got ruined. The kids ruined it. And the guys didn't never replace them.
And let's face it, when
there's so
people-
many things happens.
And when people are shopping homes, they're visioning what they want to do with. So they're walking through and they look at your kitchen like, oh, I love this kitchen, but I'd get new counters, or I'd get new.
I have been in cases that the person said, oh, I cannot buy because that kitchen or that flooring is like, when you buy it, it's yours. You can do whatever you want.
Guess
to
what?
It.
They swap it out. It's or pay someone to do it, or DIY it, whatever it is.
No, but at Loan Depot, you lender a choice. Okay, homes means everything, and what we mean with this is we're gonna do everything we can to help you make that dream come true.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna help you make it happen. We got programs. Okay, we got first-time home buying programs.
Absolutely.
Okay, the Stay on New Mexico helps you. Things are changing, but the programs are still available. Okay, we got the 2 or 3Ks, programs in there. Help you fix a home and make it approvable.
Absolutely.
So you could buy it FHA if you have to. Okay, we got the Glance Slam. Okay, you can actually get credit from Loan Depot to you after you close a home and get money back.
Oh, nice.
Okay, which is huge.
That's almost like a rewards program.
It's a
kind of
rewards
thing.
program
Yeah,
almost.
exactly.
So the chances and opportunities are there depending on the individual situation. So we are here to help you accomplish the dream of owning your home. So if you can come to us and allow us and follow our lead, okay, we still work for you.
Yeah.
We'll do what you said in the end of the day. We'll give you the tools. We'll give you the choices. In the end of the day, you choose what you want and you make it happen for yourself.
Yeah.
And I love doing that, and I always have done that for customers throughout my whole career.
And that's what it's about.
And this is what we do.
You're
okay?
honest, you're upfront, but you'll go to bat for them at every single time,
Exactly.
and make sure. And if you can't get them in, you do everything you can to get them in later
I always
down
say
the road.
I
or whatever.
uncover every stone to see what we can do. So.
Absolutely. So if you're listening here and you're thinking, you know what, I need to get my ducks in order. I want to talk and get my loan, and let's test the waters here, see what the market's like. Give Eliot a call. You can call him direct on his cell at 719-237-4680. You can call the office number 505-445-2070. Or you can reach out via email erodriguez@loandepot.com.
That's correct.
Or go to loandepot.com/erodriguez, actually. It's Eliot Rodriguez. I'm sorry. It's all Eliot Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And you can go that way. Or just call them 719-237-4680. And have you got a office to hang your coat up yet, or is that still in the works?
We just broke the deal, so we should
Be
have
soon
an
here.
address.
Next time I talk to you, probably
I will say so. Yes.
Awesome. Very good.
'Cause I can't wait. I'm having cabin fever, dude. I thought the COVID-19 scenario was over, and I'm stuck back to it again.
Right? You're like, oh my God. So, but thank you, Eliot.
No,
and,
thank you for having me.
Anytime. We'll see you next time, okay?
Thank you.
All right, 9:56.